evening, everyone, and welcome. My name is Dina Kretzer. I'm a Regional Vice President with Arbonne International, and we love to have our guests at these meetings because it is something that all of us as consultants see as a gift.
Well, hi everybody. Welcome to the Arbonne presentation.
That wasn't even my voice.
No, YouTube is continuing in the background.
All right. Because this business opportunity is something that all of us see as a gift we were all, myself included, positive sure we wanted nothing to do with when it was first offered to us, and most of us pretty resistant to even taking a peek inside because we had all these uninformed, preconceived ideas about what a business like this meant. But all of us do see it as a gift because as we did start peeking inside, we found so much more that we were saying we wanted in our lives, and nothing in there that we said that we did not want. So we love to come and share some solid facts about the Arbonne as a company, the products, and this unparalleled business opportunity. And y'all are in for such a treat tonight because Regional Vice President Connelly Steward is the one who's going to be up here sharing this information, sharing her story with you from 5 years of experience in building a business. And I see lots of you who are part of Connelly's team here tonight, and I know you would join me in saying Connelly is one who works her business in such a way that she can say to anyone, do what I'm doing and you will succeed, right? And she is one that I've watched from 5 years ago when we met and what she decided to begin, really take ownership of her own business and work it not as a cute little hobby, but as the very real international multi-million-dollar business that she's building. So I love it when it's my turn to give the opportunity presentation, but I also love it when it's my turn to take a seat and listen to such a strong leader and dear friend. So Connelly, come on up here. It is all yours. Because you don't need these things.
I don't need them yet.
Not yet.
This is true. All right. Well, thank you, Dina, so much. We have so much fun working together, and I am blessed to have Dina Kretzer as a mentor who I've learned so much from in this business. It's truly one of the perks of the business, that's for sure. So, I just want to start with a question. And you'll see at the top it says final thoughts because I used to close my opportunity with this question, and now I think it's better to start it because it has a lot to do with my story. So, where will you be in 5 years if you continue to do what you're doing now, especially financially? So I just kind of want to start by introducing myself by sharing where I was 5 years ago. And I see some little smirks because they're thinking, holy cow, I don't want to think about where I'll be in 5 years if I keep doing what I'm doing because it'll be the same exact place as to where I am now. And that was a little bit, is actually most of my story of where I was 5 years ago. So I was teaching kindergarten. I had gone, which sounds so cute, doesn't it? And everyone's like, of course you taught kindergarten, you're so patient. I'm like, you didn't see me behind closed doors, So, but I guess in the classroom, I was able to hold it all together. But inside, I was going home and just kind of freaking out because I was really, really overwhelmed. I was feeling really anxious at the end of the day, just trying to maintain the behavior of 23 to 25-year-old, 5 and 6-year-olds, and just also the demands that were on me from the school system. So trying to kind of maintain those two things, and also having a thought like this in the back of my mind, it was creating some anxiety. So 5 years ago, I was newly married, did not have children. I'll get to that, but now I have 2 sons. And I was in the beginning of my teaching career. So I actually taught 4 years before I left my full-time teaching job for Arbonne and to be at home with my sons. You know what? By personality and by nature, I was totally a realist at that point in my life. And by that I mean, even though I maybe had these feelings of anxiety and not knowing really how I could grow the wealth of our family and provide our family choices, I realistically knew I had a job and I worked hard, and that made me feel okay at the end of the day. right? So I know some of you all can relate to that feeling, because otherwise you'd just be going crazy, because when you're a realist, the good news is you have that to fall back on. When you're more of a dreamer, you're not okay with falling back on that. And so Arbonne has really taught me to take more of the dreamer avenue, in fact, all of that avenue. Where else was I 5 years ago? You know, in my teaching career, what I was noticing was that I loved being a helper, right? Who in the world else goes into a helping profession other than the feeling that they get from that profession, okay? But what I didn't love is that a lot of teachers were staying well into the evening to complete the task they needed to, and we were all making the same amount of money, pretty much, because you hear a lot of chit-chat in the teacher's lounge when the new contracts come out. You hear a lot of griping. That's one thing I'll tell you. And so I found that I was just trying to stay under the radar. I'm like, what can I do to get out of school at 3 p.m. when we're allowed to, so that I can go do the things that really energize me and, you know, keep my cup filled so that I can go in tomorrow and do this again. And when I say do that again, I don't necessarily mean do the wonderful job that we love teachers for, which is, you know, the helping part. I mean the helping of so many at one time with the resources that I had where I was, right? So you kind of feel stretched then. And then I started thinking 5 years ago, oh my goodness, we are newly married, we're going to start a family. I don't know if I can maintain this. I don't know if I can do this every day, basically living for, what, you guys? Holidays. There are a lot of teachers in this room, so what are you living for? Holidays, spring break, summer vacation. So I just wasn't quite sure if I could do that and have kids, you know, and maintain sanity, to put it a bit bluntly. So that's kind of where I was. And then I found Arbonne, or I always say Arbonne actually found me. So most people, some are, but most people are not just looking for a network marketing business. You know, that's generally not on our radar. It is now more, because the awareness of how amazing a network marketing company and Arbonne is, which is the best one there is, you know how amazing of an opportunity that is. That's more on people's radar now. But 5 years ago, that was not on my radar at all. My best friend Brittany introduced Arbonne to me, and I was very, very, very hesitant, and I really didn't even entertain the idea of the conversation. I went to Brittany's business launch to support her because she was one of my great best friends, and Dina was there actually, and you know, I bought a little bit of skincare and I had a really wonderful time, but I did not imagine the business. I didn't even really know if there could be a business with this. Truthfully, I thought Brittany was doing another little cute thing because she is cute and crafty, and it just seemed like selling lipstick was something that she would be great at, but it wasn't something I saw myself being great at. So I really just kind of kept my focus on the track that I had started from, you know, really high school. Like high school, then you know you're going to college to study X, Y, and Z, and then you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and I really just kept my track there because remember I said I was a realist, and that's what realists do. We just really kind of stay where we realistically see ourselves going. So Britt, being my best friend, really kept putting a bug in my ear about this business opportunity. And one night we were having dinner, so Britt and her husband and my husband and me, all four of us, we were really great friends, and we'd have weekly Sunday night dinners, and we were at dinner, and Britt brings it up again, and Ryan's like, what? Network marketing and a business where you can leverage your time and network and make additional income? Why wouldn't you look at that? Like, that sounds like such a great idea. So I was kind of like, oh, it does? Maybe it does. And you have to remember that also the things going through my mind that I wasn't speaking about were the things I just shared. The feeling anxious. I literally went to an eye doctor to ask if something was wrong with my vision, and he was like, no. I'm like, could things be blurry because I'm anxious? And he was like, very possibly. And that was the year I had a very rough class, I will say. So it kind of all started making sense. But that I wasn't really talking about because I knew that I just needed to kind of press forward. Like there was always going to be light at the end of the tunnel. There was always summer break, right? So Ryan thinks this is a good idea. And when I trust my husband so much, and what I love about him is that he, from the start, saw a bigger picture than I did. And I'm glad now I see a bigger picture, a much bigger picture, but at the time I just didn't. I wasn't really raised that way. I was really raised to just go in the steps of do this, then this, and this, and this. And so when Rye said, yeah, that is just an amazing idea, like let's take a look at it. We went to a meeting and I had him come with me, and just like this, and we learned about the business opportunity. And I saw the incomes, which I'm going to share with you in a minute, and I heard our executive national vice president, Dr. Lynn Puana, was here from Hawaii, so it was powerful to hear Dr. Lynn share her story of how she had very quickly replaced her income in Arbonne as a physician, and just see that she was a real person a few years down the road. And I could see where she was living now, with the 2 kids and the older age, like I could envision I would love my life to look like that. So then everything really just fell into place. And you can roll to the next slide, Ginger. So, this is when I think I had that realization. It is about you, the life you choose to live. And I knew that we were ready to start a family, semi-ready, but we were moving that way, and that we really only have this one life to live, and this company was going to allow me to do that, right? And not only to do that for myself, but to be able to share that with others. That is so powerful once you grasp that you can change not only your life and the choices that you have, but you can help change someone else's life, right? That's more of legacy versus just what you're doing in the here and now. So these are my boys. So here we are. Now we are 4 years down the road, and this is Elliot wearing my husband's shoes. I just thought that picture was so cute because he had found them himself. And Elliot's almost 2, and then this is Grayson, and he's 4, almost 4 and a half, and then these are the boys together on Grayson's gator, and Grayson loves to ride him around the backyard, and it's fun. It's just funny because they're wild. They are so wild, and I hope that picture exhibits that just a smidge. But we have a lot of fun, and there are a lot of afternoons riding the gator or mornings doing that, and to me, that's a blessing. But it's because I did choose to think outside the box and decide to really jump in and build and grow a business. And I chose to be very coachable by my mentor, Dina. And all of those things have led to the life we live now. And it's just really hard to imagine that 5 years ago, I don't even think I could fully envision the possibility of what Arbonne could provide our family, or the people on my team now. I couldn't even envision that I would have these sort of people in my life. But what I did trust is that everyone who had been in my steps before me was saying, if you just plug in, if you just follow our system for success, in Arbonne, if you just believe that this is possible for you, it can happen. So this is my why, as I like to say. And obviously, are they worth working this business? 100%, yes. Okay, we can move on. So let's get down to it, right? So how do you, make money? I think that's pretty important. So this is the slide that really opened my eyes in Arbonne. Because at the end of the day, you need to know how quickly can I replace the salary, what am I looking to make, and those sorts of things. So I'm going to start bottom and go up, okay? So in Arbonne, you start as a consultant, and consultants, you make money right away, which is really awesome. So on any products you sell in our business, you make money right away off of that. Then your first promotion is district manager. You will see tonight we're recognizing some in qualification for district manager and some who have finished that promotion. So we teach and train to finish that promotion really in your first 1, 2, or 3 months. And that is because you are basically increasing your paycheck. You're getting an additional commission. So it's like, let's make the most of that. So our district managers make between $200 to $1,000 plus per month. Next level is area manager. Area managers are $1,000 to $3,500 plus per month, and this is when your income becomes willable. So this goes for 2 generations beyond you. So we're creating a residual income in Arbonne, and that residual income can be passed on to another generation, which is incredible. So area manager, let me tell you some choices at these levels that for us, and you can kind of envision what choices these levels might mean for you. A district manager, this is when I first started Arbonne. I did promote to this in my first 2 months. This was extra money, that cushion money. If something like, oh my goodness, we owned a home, the dishwasher broke, but how are we going to pay for it? Well, we have this extra money coming in from Arbonne. Area manager. For me as a teacher, this is when I was replacing a salary. For some people, this is just an additional chunk of change that they're putting toward matching their salary, or maybe being halfway to their current salary. Maybe it's putting it towards a down payment on a home, It means different things to different people. And then regional vice president is our next level. That's $3,500 to $16,000 plus per month. And this is the level where you get your Mercedes-Benz. So this is our company car, and Arbonne gives you a car allowance, basically a car payment, I should say. And so it's $800 a month that goes toward your white Mercedes. Come on in. So this is just awesome for many reasons, because I think the car says a lot about Arbonne. It's a classy car, and I was saying earlier to one of my guests, we're just classy in Arbonne. That's just how we do it. So we have a white Mercedes. That's our company car. And it is very safe. And that's important to Arbonne as a company, because a lot of people driving white Mercedes are toting around their kids. So I think, personally, that just makes me feel so secure. And then national vice president is our top level, and on average it's $22,000 plus per month, and there is no cap here. This is unlimited income potential. And when I first heard national vice president, I thought there was one, and I thought that was Dr. Lynn Puana, who I met, and I thought I was like, oh my gosh, I have met the president of Arbonne. No, there are a lot of now, hundreds in just the U.S. So anyone can attain this level and at any track. So, I think I want you to see these and just envision which one would be really, really awesome. And then I want you to tell yourself you could do it, because you could. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of Arbonne. Arbonne's motto is pure, safe, beneficial. We deliver the pure, safe, beneficial product with the botanical tradition, and we are a 35-year-old company. Scratch that 32. This is just an older, I think this is an older page here, but we're 35 years old. We just celebrated our 35th anniversary. So that says a lot. This is an established company. It's been around, and we are standing strong for 35 years. And it's because of it's because of our culture, one, and two, because of how amazing our products are and the benefit that you get from them, and the motto that's attached with that, pure, safe, beneficial. We are 100% botanically based. We're manufactured in the U.S. And, sorry, I get distracted by babies. Yeah, don't worry, I don't have babies. We are manufactured in the U.S. and we are formulated in Switzerland. That's what I'm looking for. We're pH correct and hypoallergenic. Pediatrician and dermatologist tested. You guys, we're vegan certified, which is not an easy certification to achieve. So we're really proud of that. And we are eco-friendly. We are gluten-free, soy-free, and dairy-free. So we have amazing nutritional products where that really, really comes into play. No synthetic dyes or chemical fragrances, and we are formulated without, we You can read that list there, but I'm going to hit on the mineral oil because to me that's a biggie. So mineral oil is too big to absorb into your pores, so it sits on your skin like saran wrap, so it's actually not doing a darn thing for your skin, but it's really, really cheap to produce, so it's in over 90% of your products on the shelf. So problem one is it's not absorbing in and doing anything and you're paying money for a filler. Problem two is it's a toxic ingredient, and that's a bigger problem. So you are going to feel a difference in our awesome skincare and body care products because of this lack of mineral oil. And because we are formulated in Switzerland, we abide by the European skincare guidelines, which are way, 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 way more strict than the U.S. guidelines. So in Europe, they ban over 1,000 chemicals from their and ingredients from their skincare, and in the U.S. we ban about 10. So I just want you to already see that's putting Arbonne at, I think the next one is quality, is it? Yeah, at an ultra premium quality, just because of that in and of itself. And that doesn't even include the amazing mad scientists we have in Arbonne who came to us actually from Aveda. So these products are the real deal. So let's start here, a word on quality. We're gonna go bottom up. So there's the American Beauty, which you're gonna find in the grocery store and drugstores, all right? And then you're gonna go to premium. This is department stores. So department stores' premium products are usually French formulated. In fact, if you just Google premium skincare products, it's gonna say French formulation. All right, and then specialty nutrition stores. Okay, and then the last one is the ultra premium, and this is always Swiss formulated or ultra premium products. They're boutique or appointment only, and they are 100% pure, so very high quality, so very little fillers. So Arbonne is at an ultra premium. Usually, ultra premium products can't even experience because they're so darn expensive, and they're like boutique only, you know, it's really hard to get your hands on them. But because Arbonne is sold through network marketing, you can use an ultra premium product that's affordable, which is really, really awesome. So that will lead me into the next slide. So I've been mentioning this word network marketing a little bit here. I think I started saying, you know, I wasn't like racing around trying to find which network marketing business I should join. You know why? Because I didn't know anything about network marketing. In fact, what I thought I knew was all wrong. It was a lot of misconceptions. When I heard network marketing, I really just kind of thought the pyramid scheme that came to my mind. And I don't even think I knew what pyramid scheme meant. It's just when you hear things, you start to believe them, right? And that is not factual. So network marketing is an amazing business model. And once I did my research, I realized I really needed to jump in. So this is when we are basically eliminating the middleman. That is, in a nutshell, what network marketing is. It's a very effective distribution system using word of mouth. So we don't pay out advertising in Arbonne. We are the face of Arbonne. You're looking at Arbonne right here, here, any consultants. And we are the ones sharing the product, letting you try it in a really comfortable environment, you know, whether it's a one-on-one or a home presentation. And therefore, see, traditional retail, you have the manufacturer, wholesaler, warehouser, advertiser, retailer, then your product gets to your consumer. Network marketing, you go manufacturer, consultant, consumer. And when you look at that, the consultant doesn't physically pass the product that they order to the consumer. The product ships to the consumer, so even better. So let's just say you have a friend in Texas. And then this friend in Texas, you know, you mail a sample pack to, they love it, they're in love with the nutrition, the skincare is just done wonders for them. Then the product's they're gonna order it, the product's gonna ship straight to them. So that means here, the sky's the limit. There is no territory as to where you can work your business, which I think encourages you all who are guests to really be able to think big with this. We're good on that one. Okay, so when you're looking at a network marketing business, there are 4 key factors that you want your business to have at least one of these to be a viable network marketing business. These are the factors. Consumable product, marketplace demand, we want to look at timing and trends, and then the ability to leverage your time. And so Arbonne fits all four. This is why Arbonne is an awesome business choice when looking at a network marketing business. So I'm going to go through each of those. So with consumable product, this would seem like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised if people just don't think that, and maybe until it's brought to you, you may not think of it either. You definitely, non-negotiable, want to join a company with a consumable product because you want it to run out. Otherwise, we always are finding new clients in our business, but if your product isn't consumable, it's like you almost can't even have that client base you already built, because eventually we're all going to have enough pieces of jewelry or dishes or bags. We'll go, so on and so forth. So all of Arbonne's products are consumable. So we're going to go from skincare, obviously, we use that up, body care, the baby line, our holiday line, our cosmetics, which I love, and the weight loss and nutrition. Weight loss and nutrition are on the middle and the right here. A bag of protein lasts you 30 days. And it's that good that you're going to want to use it every day. You're going to feel the difference, and just like my clients do too, and they want to reorder it because it's making a difference in their life. They don't want to reorder it because they just feel like they got invited to a party and they just feel bad. So, okay, I'll buy another bag of protein. No, they're like, do you have another bag of protein? I need to place my order. And in fact, what's really cool about our clients is they can go online, they can reorder on their own if they would like. They receive a 20% discount. As the consultant, you get credit for that order, and it ships to your client. So that is really fun when that happens. So when you first start your business and you've signed up your clients and you've done your follow-up with them, because that is our job as their consultant, and then you're at the beach, say, or you're working your job or whatever it is, and you go and you see that someone has placed an order and you just made commission off of that, it's really exciting. And that is officially when the business clicks, I think, for you. So anywho, I just wanted to touch on that because the nutritionals are just such amazing products in Arbonne that are becoming really just as popular as the skincare too. So our skincare to the left is our flagship, but what's awesome is when a client falls in love with either or. So let's just say a client falls in love with our skincare, which you guys who haven't tried it, I'm sure someone's sending you home with a sample pack tonight. But the skincare, your client's on that, and then they have a great reward for ordering that on your next order, why not try the nutrition, right? And then what we are doing is we're turning our everyday things that we are spending money on anyways, and we're just all starting to shop from our own store. That's essentially what this business is. And we're shopping for a pure, safe, beneficial product. Okay, so it's not like we're just going from, eating at Wendy's to McDonald's. It's like we are truly saving money on products we already use that are incredibly good for you too. We are good. Okay, so where are we going next? We are currently in the US, the UK, Australia, Canada, Poland, and we are just about to enter into Taiwan in 2016. And so this is the early phases of strategic globalization. So this is really just the beginning for Arbonne. Arbonne's poised for the largest global expansion in network marketing history. So we're going to do in 5 years what a lot of companies have done in 20 or 25, smushing it in. So this is a really great time to jump on board. And it's important to not disregard this slide and just mentally think, I don't know anyone in the UK, Canada, Poland, Australia, Taiwan, so this is irrelevant to me. I'm just building the US. But what you're going to learn is to be able to have this bigger picture thinking, right? Because we're building world-class thinkers in our business. And so when you think that way, you will realize, you know what, I don't know if tomorrow I'm going to be, at the gym in my favorite gym class working out with someone whose mother is now living in Canada. You just don't know. And so when you have a business that is global, you're giving yourself a lot more opportunity to help a lot of other people. And just one more thing on that slide I didn't mention. Arbonne still has just a 1% product awareness. Anyone here tonight, if you don't have to raise your hand, but just think, had you ever heard of Arbonne before, or someone, anyone when you're first introduced, had you really ever heard a lot of Arbonne before? And many people haven't. Like a lot of parties I go to or my group presentations, like, Arbonne, I've heard of it, I know, it's like makeup, right? Or it's like skincare, right? I'm like, there's so much more to Arbonne, and I can't wait to share that with you. That is a huge business perk that a lot of people still do not know about our business or what we stand for or our products. Because when you share what Arbonne does stand for, people are going to listen because they're already looking for pure, safe, beneficial products. Okay, so time leveraging. This is literally what kept me up at night when I heard about the business. I remember Dr. Lynn sharing this time leveraging thing with me, and it's like I had just never even fathomed the idea of being able to leverage my time. So, with this, let's say you dedicate 10 hours to your Arbonne business a week. I am using the number 10 because it is round and even. You can choose how many hours you want to dedicate to your business based on how fast you want to grow in your business. But let's just say you do 10. That is basically called direct sales because you're being directly paid on what you sell, okay? But we are a combination of direct sales and network marketing, which means we get to kind of maximize our compensation. So if you teach 4 others to do the same, so I want you to imagine you're here and you're building a network out. You teach 4 others to do that as well. You're now being paid on the effort of 50 hours a week, but you're doing your 10, okay? This is the first part of time leveraging. I was like, what? That you can do that? That is so cool. And then you've got your 4 here, and they find their 4, or we help them find their 4. And then you're being paid on 210 hours of work a week. And you're still doing your concentrated 10. That's what's important to remember. And then these 4 find their 4, so we're just building out here. Now you're being paid on 810 hours a week, and you're still doing your 10, okay? So this is how you're going to see physicians choosing to now call their physician business their hobby and Arbonne their business because of this, okay? Because this is the ability to bring in more income, actually. All right. Okay, so why our business works. It is simple. Our system is very simple, and that's why I said at the beginning when I committed to just being coachable and to be willing to duplicate myself and my efforts, in other words, to teach other people to be coachable to our system as well, or to teach other people who were coachable to our system, that is when I began to see success, all right? So we shop from our own store, 1, okay, because you are probably, hopefully, using a shampoo, conditioner, you're using a body wash, you're using some sort of skincare regimen. Perhaps you're using vitamins, maybe you're already doing energy drinks or fiber boost or things like that, probiotics, prebiotics. We have all that. So you're shopping from your own store at a discount, 1. And then you are teaching and training others to do the same thing. So we are teaching people about our products through group presentations, which I love. And maybe that's just the teacher in me, but I really love being in front of and around like maybe 3 to 5 friends and just sharing Arbonne's products and what Arbonne stands for, and letting people sample, do a little facial, try some nutrition products. I think it's fun, and I enjoy seeing the reaction of other people when they see the difference just in that night of how the skincare, made a difference. And just sometimes we do it on their hand, and they're like, wow, I can't believe how different my hand, or one hand looks than the other, or I can't believe that shake tastes so good, and it's a vegan protein. I'm blown away. So here's some other consultant perks. We receive a 35% commission. We receive additional commission from preferred client orders. We receive override commission on our team sales. We have a cash bonus at every level. So I was going through the district manager, the area manager, and you will hear tonight people being rewarded for those bonuses. We reward them with the Starbucks gift card, but Arbonne rewards you with the $200, $400, or $600 bonus in addition, okay? And I loved that because I gotta tell you, I never had the opportunity to earn a bonus in my prior career. Never. In fact, I wanted to do anything not to be recognized because I didn't want to be asked to join another committee for no pay. So when I knew I could earn a cash bonus, every month I go for that. And then the next is you can go back. The incentive trips and gifts, which the last two lead into that little picture you got. That was a teaser. So the incentive trips and gifts is a big one. Again, maybe you're in a career now where you are gifted trips for increasing your paycheck. In Arbonne, you definitely are. Every year we roll out an incentive trip. I can't wait to see what's going to be rolled out in December for the next incentive trip. But I personally have been on 2. They're awesome. Remember I mentioned that Arbonne's classy? Well, the trips are super classy too. So Arbonne really does roll out the red carpet. It's just so nice. And the people you're around there. And it's a great excuse to say, you know what, I'm going to take this time with my husband, or with my girlfriend or whatever it is. And I'm just going to do this for me because, I earned it. So I just kind of got to go. So it's really, really awesome. And the last one, and the gifts. Good gracious. I know, it's like you think, well, I don't care about recognition, or some of you are thinking, I would like some recognition, like I would love to receive some jewelry or whatever it is we gift in Arbonne, which is a lot of jewelry actually. And once you begin being recognized, it's like you just stand a little taller because you really do, it feels nice, it does. And when we're working with kids, what do? Positive reinforcement, you just see them light up, And so it's fun as adults to hear too, you're doing a good job, and you're going to be gifted for that. And then the world-class training and mentorship. This is something I never really saw as a business perk when I entered into the business because my I was mostly just, we're going to provide additional income for our family. That's what we're going to do. I wasn't thinking, I am going to grow as a person. I'm going to have personal development. I'm going to listen to Learn and Burns, which those of you who are consultants know what those are. I'm going to read books that help me better myself. I'm going to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, and I'm going to, do things to challenge and grow me, by my reading and personal development. That was not on my radar. But this business has helped me a lot to grow. And I think that's really powerful because as you grow in life, things are just going to get more difficult, right? So we know that we have more financial responsibilities. Maybe we get married and we now have a spouse, so it's not just us and just taking care of us. We're learning to live with someone else. And then we have children, and that brings on so many wonderful things, with so many new things. You're just learning to navigate as a mom. And so this is going to only continue. So the tools Arbonne has provided me and the mentors I've gotten to work with, it has spilled over into just how I can live as a friend, as a mother, as a wife, as a leader. And so that, you can't even put a commission on that, right? And so now, this is mentor. This is Dina and I at Dr. Lynn Puana lives in Hawaii, you guys, right? I mentioned that. So Lynn had a retreat for area managers and above who could earn this in her home, which overlooks the ocean in Hawaii. I just have to throw these things out there because I want you to get a vision, okay? And she had photo shoots done for us. That was really fun. So this is why we look really jazzed up. We got our makeup done, and we were just really pampered, and we were just having a good time. And so this is something, again, I wouldn't expect to happen when growing my Arbonne business, but this is the kind of stuff that does. And the memories that are made there, I mean, it's like that feeling that you feel when you are being pampered to something like that, and you are with, the world-class thinkers that I think we all want to be surrounded by. That feeling, you just can't really put into words. Next. Oh, can you see that? Okay, so you got it. See, we had tans because this is when Ryan and I were in Mexico, which was an Arbonne trip, so paid for by Arbonne. And he was like, wow, this is so nice. I mean, he was just blown away, and I was so proud to be able to show him that, yes, this is really nice, and this is, what we do in Arbonne. We work hard so we can play hard too. And so we were just making, memories there, and I think that was 5-day or 6-day trip. And, again, what can I say? It's just the feelings that being there and being able to show my husband, this is, why I have been consistently doing these 2 presentations a week, or being gone a few nights a week, or, making those little sacrifices. This is one of the reasons why, so that we could have this experience. And then this slide, design your dream lifestyle, create the life you deserve. This would have come off as a little cheesy to me when I first started my business, because I didn't think about dream lifestyle and create the life you deserve. I still live with an attitude of gratitude, and that is really very important. And so I've always been very grateful to, own a home, to have a full-time job with benefits. So I want that to be known right off the bat. But when you think about create the life you deserve, it more even spills over to create the life that your children deserve, or that others deserve of you, right? Because when you're in a position when you're not stretched thin, you can be the best you. And when you're the best version of you, others have more to gain from that. So you can really, it goes back to the beginning when I was saying you can impact others, and you can really help build a legacy. Oh yeah, so this is some of my dreams. So every year we go to the mountains in October, November. This has been a tradition since we got engaged. But so we always play a fun dream game now, because you got to get your head in the game. If you're going to be a dreamer, you really got to get there, so especially if by nature you're the realist. So, I'll ask Rye, what would you rather have, the mountain house, the lake house, or the beach house, is our next house. And so we're back and forth, but I'm kind of, especially this time of year, on mountain. But why not have all of them, right? So, and I think what's really fun about this too is just envisioning having this welcoming home to invite my Arbonne team into, right? Because that creates a whole other realm of what this little house could represent. So that's just one of the things that I dream about, and that I know will happen. I know our Arbonne business will provide that. And then next and last, really, don't be afraid to fail, you guys. Be more afraid not to try. So one of the biggest things I think we're all confronted with is fear. And I don't know what the word fear means to you, but it's false evidence appearing real, right? And so fear is mostly a lot what's in our mind. It's often not truth. And so if you are really wanting to make a shift and anything I've said has resonated with you, 99% sure you're going to have a feeling of fear tug at you and kind of tell you, don't do it. And that is just the way that we're wired, really. But I think instead, I would really encourage you, really be more afraid not to try. Be more afraid if 5 years down the road, things haven't shifted, or you're disappointed with where things are in your life, and you're looking back with regret. Because there is just so very, very little to lose from starting an Arbonne business. And there's so much to gain, especially with our team, because I just feel that here in the Richmond area and what we're growing out into all of our amazing teams that aren't here in Richmond, there's just this energy that I can't put into words, but it is attractive to a lot of people because a lot of people are looking for not only a way to grow their income, but also a way to be surrounded by people who encourage you and build you up. That is all we are about. So that's the good news. You have a lot of room to grow. We all do, and you're in a really comfortable environment in Arbonne. So I think I am just going to close there because I can't remember. Oh, there we are. That question again. So I will leave you with that. But thank you guys so much for listening tonight. And Dina's got the baby.
Yeah, if there's anything better than listening to Connelly give an opportunity presentation, it's getting to hold a baby while I'm back there listening. I have not gotten to do this in a while. Does she have to go away? Anna, we're doing really well right here. The baby Connelly, thank you.
You are
so much.
welcome.
Stay and turn to the recognition page. And right now we get to recognize consultants who are in qualification for the next level. And first we're going to start with my dear sideline friend, and for guests, what is this new vocabulary, sideline and whatever. Stacy and I are both consultants. We're just not part of each other's organization. We both have uplines way out of state, and we found each other early on and started joining together to have our meetings. So I'm going to step aside and you do your recognition, and then Connelly and I will do ours.
Question for you real quick. Do we want to just do in call first?
Do
and
in call.
And then I'll wait.
Yeah, would be great. Okay. And since I don't have an extra hand, would you mind moving that whole vase of roses over here?
I'll do it.
Okay, Connelly, you do that. Stacy, you talk.
Wow.
And the digestion floss comes with it.
Wow. Thanks, Dina and Connelly. I mean, I so love being part of this group, and although we're sidelines in Arbonne, we really do a lot of things together, and this is the spirit of Arbonne, as you know, as you'll come to see as you come to more events and things like that. But we're really excited tonight because we have quite a bit of qualification going on. So a few people couldn't be here, but I'll start with our district managers and qualification, and tell me if I missed anybody. But Carol Fox, who couldn't be here tonight, who was sponsored by Jillian Stocks, and then Carol's daughter, Elizabeth Fox, who is in Charlotte, and then Erica Gordon, who also couldn't be here, who's sponsored by Jillian. So we're really excited about that. And that's all we
Why
have.
don't you go on and do? Go on, you're here. Just go on. I changed my mind. Go on and do your recognition. We can do that, can't we?
We also, I'm really excited to say that we have an area in qualification, and that's Jillian Stocks. So
Jillian.
Come on up. Jillian sponsored by me.
Yay. Congrats, Jillian.
Because I want her to be up here when we recognize the rest. And then we also have a brand new district manager, Katie Yost, so I'm so excited.
Sponsored by Jillian.
No,
no,
actually
sponsored
she's
by-
sponsored by Monica.
Okay.
Yes, Monica
We'll
Bowling.
figure
come
this
on up.
out.
Yeah. And I wanted Monica to come up too because she has a present for her. Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
And just real quick, and then you can say something about Katie. Katie is just the amazing young woman, mom of two, stay-at-home mom, and she's worked her business really hard and promoted in 2 months.
2 under 2.
2 under 2 children.
Yeah.
But this has just been an exciting journey to have her part of our team. And I just see great things happen for all these amazing women. But Monica is her sponsor, so she's an executive district manager. And also promoted in 2 months, but she got a good gift too.
I got a gift for Katie. Katie is one of my friends that I invited to my first Arbonne launch, and she didn't buy anything, and she didn't return my calls, and she didn't come to any, Discover Arbonne meetings, and I just had a feeling with her that this could be a really good business for her, and she was just so passionate about skincare and nutrition to begin with, and she has rocked it out, you guys. She keeps me motivated. It's the cool thing that when you become district, or you start building a team, that your team, like you're there to motivate your team, but they almost motivate you more, I think, to do well and to do better, and to become a better leader. So congratulations, Katie. I wouldn't get to where I got for sure without her. I mean, she's been rocking it. And fearless leader Jillian and Stacy. So thank you.
And I'll just mention too that then we won't have to come back up. These two ladies both earned their district manager bonuses coming out their first month or second month for you, and put them in a new.
And Katie finished strong start,
Yeah.
and I finished strong start, and first grow strong bonus. So
Great.
Congrats.
Yeah.
yes.
Congrats to all of you. As we always say in Arbonne, when one wins, we all win. And again, we're not in each other's organizations, but there is plenty of room for everyone in Arbonne to go to the top, which is another thing we love about this. So we are super, super happy for all of you, Stacy, Jillian, Monica, and Katie, right? Okay, so we have a few to recognize. I'll read you the flowers.
Yeah.
I can do that. And I am going to read the out-of-state ones because I trust they're watching on live stream so you can hear your recognition. And thank you, Heidi, for doing this. You're hoping it's recording. All right, first, these are in qualification for district. Monette Wilder in New York, sponsored by Genevieve Fiorito. Melissa Schuberg in New York, sponsored by Monette Wilder. Amy Daniel in North Carolina, sponsored by Boyce O'Toole. Lisa Huey, I see you, in Virginia, sponsored by Jessie up here, not wave at me from back there. No. You see the drill, Lisa. Up. So congrats. And does somebody with an iPhone, okay, not yet. Julie Parham, she didn't want to be by herself. Julie Parham in Virginia, sponsored by Connelly Steward. She's laughing. She likes this recognition. She's smiling. Do you want to be recognized? Get your mommy up here next month. And then Cherie Anthony, Virginia, sponsored by me. And Dana Tucker in Virginia, sponsored by Lauren Southward. Not here, right? No. Okay. And Nicole Leo is here. I saw you logo. Where are you? Sponsored by Jeanette Stoneman. And Brittany Hoover, sponsored by Nicole Leo. And Brianna Brianna.
She is Brianna.
Virginia, sponsored by Hello. So, congrats if you're watching that. And somebody snap a quick picture of this lovely group, and y'all will see this on Facebook as soon as Fran sends it to me.
That's cute.
Great picture. It's a great picture. Congrats, Okay, and we have two new district managers that I'm so proud of. The first is Genevieve Fiorito in New York. She is sponsored by Kimmy Quatella in New York, who is sponsored by Liz in Maryland, sponsored by Jessie here. And so how did I do with your family tree, girls? So I'm so proud of them because they are just like I was when I started. I did not have an in-town upline. I did not have a meeting to bring anyone to. And it was a quick reality check that if there was ever going to be a meeting here that anyone could bring people to, I would need to lead it. And so I always tell all of you in New York and out of state, just do it. My first meeting was 3 consultants around my kitchen table. I had watched one on live stream, what they're doing now, and thought, okay, that's what they do. Opportunity presentation, flowers, gifts, a message after that. Okay, we always say in Arbonne, the best copycat wins. That was not hard to copy, and I'm just so proud of all of you all because you did this without, any of your upline around. So I'm very, very excited for all of you. And the next one is here. It's Fran Babishak as a brand new district manager. And she is sponsored by Ann Maloney. Ann, come up. And I have so loved working with Fran and cannot believe that I did not know you 2 months ago was when you walked into this meeting, right? And anyway, Ann, if you want to say a couple of words, because I have absolutely loved working with Ann and Fran to bring this about. Okay, I want in this picture.
First, I need to say that I think Dina's just broken her own rule. She's holding a baby up here. No, I'm kidding you, Dina. Anyway, she's just a bush for those babies. But Fran has been great. Fran, I invited Fran, a friend of ours, a mutual friend, invited Fran to a party that she was having for me probably 2 years ago.
Several.
2 or 3. And then Fran couldn't make it. And so, and then I ran into Fran later, like this year, and gave her a sample pack of the RE9, fell in love with it, and then she decided to do the business. Then she met more people at Arbonne and just was really getting excited about it. And so she just rocked it in the 2 months. I mean, she blew me out of the water for her commitment. She's always learning online. She's always learning something new. She's teaching me something like, oh, I didn't know I could get that on the source. But the cool thing is, what I realized is, and you'll learn this too as you sponsor people and get to know other people, is she was an amazing friend, because when I saw her launches and her parties that her friends came to, that showed me the kind of friend Fran is, because friends show up for friends. And so, anyway, I was amazed at her friends and the relationships we have with other people, and I thought, wow, I get to be one of these people too. I get to be her friend. And so, anyway, I'm excited for you, Fran.
That's how I feel about these two. This was like an unbelievable bonus, getting to know them.
Anyway, so she'll be an area manager before you know it.
Stay right up there and take a picture of them without me, so Fran can have a picture with Edwin, because she'll go, I don't even know this baby. I don't know the 2 of them. So anyway, thank you. And then Fran, one of your gifts you already had to have early because you needed it, because it's so there's you got your area manager gift from me early. That's your RVP gift. Oh, Ann, come here. You've got a gift here. And this is from Andy. And then we get bracelets from our, you don't like that? For getting into district. And you get a charm when you promote out a district. So there you have the bracelet.
Yeah,
There is your charm
Thank you.
for promoting Fran. How's that? I did the charms
did it.
and the bracelets all
She
in
wanted
one.
the bracelet.
So, anyway,
wanted the
no. So congrats.
Anyway, great
Love
job.
you, love you so much. Anyway, very exciting. Do you have Jessie? Okay, Jessie really wanted to be able to say a few words, and don't worry, she's not on the video this time, but I'm going to show you, because we talk about so much of the time, it's not about the money. When we, Connelly showed you the commissions, and that is not so we can go buy more stuff and sit on the stuff. It is because it takes an income and some time to create memories and to be able to spend time and have memory-making experiences with those you love. And I'm just going to tell you why Jessie is not here. Those of you who are Facebook friends have already seen this, but those of you who are guests have not. And so one of Jessie's dreams was to be able to surprise her 6-year-old daughter with a trip to Disney around her 6th birthday. And so she has been just sitting on this for months. It was her goal on January 1st. She got to a certain place in her Arbonne business. They would do this. And so they woke her up this morning and told her, and she's got a 4- and 2-year-old as well. They used to go, grandparents came. But they woke her up this morning and told her they had to go to this business meeting with Daddy. And they had to take him to the airport. And there is another video that we're not going to show that's hilarious of this 6-year-old in the back seat pouting, I don't want to go to the meeting. I want to go to school. I want to be on this field trip. And she is just outdoing herself. And anyway, this is right after they gave her the Mickey Mouse ears at the airport and surprised her. And what you can't understand her saying is, I thought you said we were going to a meeting. So it's 14 seconds. So play this.
Are you excited?
She said, I thought you said we were going to a meeting. And Jessie said, I know, I tricked you. So that's where Executive Area Manager Jessie Collier is tonight. And that's just a living proof of just some of the joys. I was telling my younger daughter about that this morning. And I said, this is the kind of thing, because I didn't have this in my life when I was staying home with you two and made that choice to have no income but be home, that I would have loved to have surprised you. And she said, you can surprise me now. I surprised you. I said yes to going to Italy with you this summer. And she said, that's not the same. You can think of another trip and surprise me. So some kids never grow up. So anyway, next we're going to have Stacy come up and no, I'm so sorry. Yes, do I ever get this right? See, I got off the baby
You're
and
a
the
great
video
team.
and all that. Thank you, Connelly. My other half of my brain, probably 3/4 of it. We want to recognize everyone who got their district manager bonus this month, which is $2,500 to continue to maintain district once you get there. Which maybe that sounds like a huge number to a guest, but that's an average of a little over 600 in sales in a week. That's like one RE9 set, a couple of protein shakes, and a primer, something like that. I mean, if you are living, breathing, and saying the word Arbonne a couple of times a week, that should come about. But to double that, to have 5,000 in a month in your district, not you personally, but in your whole district, and sponsor 5 new preferred clients or consultants, that is what gets you the $200 bonus from Arbonne, and a little recognition and a Starbucks card from your regional vice president. So our district manager bonus earners are Ginger, Ann Maloney, I like it, and Connelly, and Amy Muir, who's on a business trip, and Jessie, who got hers in the mail, and Kimmy in New York, who got hers in the mail for that, or Kimmy, it's in the mail. It was mailed yesterday. And then area manager bonus to Connelly. That's awesome that you continue to earn that. And perfect brick is another one of these words. Like, what are all these different words? Sideline, upline, and now we've got perfect brick. And that is to have $2,500 in sales, you and your new preferred clients or new consultants. So it's a real encouragement. This isn't something that Arbonne rewards for, except obviously your paycheck's growing, so you are getting rewarded. But it's something we like to recognize because we always say, we never ever imply that this is some kind of a get-rich-quick thing. It's a stable business that you build by laying a solid foundation of one brick at a time, and we really reward those who have that $2,500 and 5 new preferred clients or consultants that they directly sponsored. So I really want to recognize then Fran Babachek and Amy Muir got that, and she's still on her business trip, and Ginger. Healthy business, copy what they're doing. And
Now. Oh no, we're good.
you know what? No, let's do one more thing. Arbonne sends the VPs these. In the past, it's been bracelets. This year, it's bracelets / hair ties. This says "Hello Future." So we would like to hand these out to everyone who has already registered for GTC in April. So raise your hand, and Connelly and I will walk around. Thank you. And I'm getting out of a lot of things. So we are excited.
Hello, future.
This is everybody that got online, and
Welcome to your future.
and I would love for not getting her back. Can I bring her Thursday? Anyway, so we are very excited that you can still register, and as new consultants, Arbonne practically gives away the registration, and so just look online for more details for that. And now we're going to let Stacy come up and tell about an awesome incentive that Arbonne offers for new consultants.
I told her she may not get that baby back. You better check that out.
Especially a little girl.
I'm really excited to share with you a little information about our Strong Start program. Tonight you've heard all the great reasons why Arbonne is a great business to look at, our products, our incentives and things like that. We have a world-class company with a wonderful website, and we also have, one thing that we didn't mention is that we really have low startup costs to get involved and to start your own Arbonne business, and the consultants that are sitting here know that. But Arbonne also has some really great incentives to give you as you're building your business, and one is called Strong Start. And I really like it. I'm really excited that we have 2 Strong Start earners, Monica and Katie both, as we mentioned a little earlier, earned it in 2 months, and it's a great way. And tell me your name again. Fran earned it in 2 months. I think it's an awesome incentive. I wish they had it when we first started out. But basically how it works is you get incentivized for building your business and following the system that your team teaches you. So for month 1, if you achieve $1,500 in group volume, you earn the Arbonne tote bag, which is this beautiful little tote. You guys have it. There we go. can't buy it. And I always like to mention that because I've always wanted one. But so month 2, if you achieve $2,500 in volume in your group, you earn the Arbonne necklace, Arbonne Advantage necklace. Does anybody have that one? But it's a really pretty necklace, and we actually have something nice for the guys too. And then in month 3, the goal is 3,500 to achieve 3,500 in volume, and that's you and anybody on your team. And with that, you get a whole RE9 set. So most of you in here have either used the products or seen the product, the RE9 set. That's over a $300 value for the products there. So you do all 3 of those, and if you if you sponsor 3 consultants who have a startup order of at least $150 or more in their start month, you also earn a $700 product voucher. And that's amazing. You can get so much with that. It just pops up in the window, and you can go through and you can order those. So it's a really great incentive. And I think it's, when you set that goal in the beginning as a brand new consultant to earn it, it's so achievable. I mean, we have 3 people sitting here tonight that have earned it, and it's a great benefit. So, did I miss anything? Guys, okay.
Ginger, I just want to hear from District Manager Ginger Rucker, who, this is when I was supposed to do the bracelets, was after Ginger talked. Honestly, I cannot have a baby in my arms. So Ginger, I just wanted to share a couple of minutes of what she took away from GTC last year.
Last year I went to GTC, and I had only been a consultant for a very short period of time. And I actually went to GTC having never given a presentation. And GTC, for some of you who may not know what it is, the Global Training Conference. We come from all around the world and come to Las Vegas, and I don't know if we could possibly ruin Las Vegas, but there's 17,000 of us, maybe 18,000 that come for training and camaraderie. But I went to GTC in April, like I said, never having given a presentation. The coffee appointment I'd ever been to was the one where Connelly invited me for coffee. I had never even given out my tester kit. I'd had some things happening, but I went to GTC completely not knowing what I was getting myself into. And while you can see the videos on YouTube, you can see all the training, you can see the energy, you can listen to the amazing trainers and the speakers. It's an amazing event, but there's nothing to describe how you feel. There's a feeling, there's something that just wraps itself around you and gets inside you. And while I was there, I made a commitment that the next month I was going to go into qualification for district manager, and that the month after that I was going to be a district manager. Now mind you, I had never given a presentation. One person had showed up to my launch. So it was kind of one of those things. But I did those things. I went into qualification. I became a district manager when I said I would. And I can say without hesitation, with no doubt, it would not have happened if I had not gone to GTC. I know it would not have happened. If you believe in yourself, you believe in Arbonne, and you believe in your team, you need to do whatever it takes to make the commitment and get to GTC. It is going to be a game changer. See you in Vegas.
All right. Thank you so much.
Son, baby.
And I might add, you've earned your district manager bonus every single month. Have not missed a beat since promoting to district. And so many times it's easy to go on break and go, that was a lot of work, but you just kept going, which is why your business is thriving like it is. So now it says, give out GTC bracelets. You're a big white one. So next, what we do in this part of the meeting is always highlight either a product or a product line. Am I still standing right? I tend to wonder. And I'm going to have Executive District Manager Laura Georgiadis come up and share her experience, not just with a product, but with how we put our products together. Just a second. I've got one little, can you imagine? I'm going to say something first. Because I thought you consultants would get a kick. Laura's dying to come up here. Would get a kick out of this because I was thinking of how little I focused on this 9 years ago when I started my business. And don't let this catalog disappear. But I've tried to save one from every year in Arbonne, and I went back what were these called years ago? Not
Figure
Arbonne
eight.
Figure
Century. Figure eight. We got some other veterans in here.
First introduction to Arbonne.
And it was Stacy's first product line that she tried, and it was just these little canisters of things back here. It said weight loss program and nutrition, and I was like, whatever. I am into the skincare. I was sharing the anti-aging line with everyone. I was getting such positive response. In fact, those women who ordered the anti-aging from me 9 years ago are still ordering and reordering. I was fascinated with our skincare, our makeup, paid no attention to this line. And then tried a shake about a year into Arbonne because I thought, I'm going to be doing this business the rest of my life. I love what I am doing, where this is going, where I'm able to help other people. I need an opinion about these shakes, and if I have to hold my nose to get 3 sips down, I'll tell people, we don't really make great shakes, stick to the skincare. And everyone knows I am a shake-a-day person and have been ever since. Absolutely love them. And then in January, somebody would come up with manage the damage or new year, new you, and we would do a few presentations about how you can do this for a month and get into shape, and then we'd forget about it until January, if y'all were, some of you that were here. And now Laura's going to tell you where we have come with this, because it is an incredible program that some dietitians and physicians have all worked together within Arbonne to put out this 30-day clean eating program, and Laura has done it. Now you can come.
Okay.
Laura has done this herself, and she has shared it with many others, including her awesome friend Heidi up here. So the two of them rock this clean eating presentation. So if y'all want to look up here and see where we come from, there's my old catalog. And now,
And I have
tell
to,
us how we
I'm
do
so
it
glad
today,
you
Laura.
told that story, because that's exactly how I began in Arbonne. I focused on the skincare and didn't think anything really about the nutrition. I remember Dina coming to the first presentation I was ever invited to, and it's the only time you were ever late. And she comes in and she's this little thing, and she's got this thing of, it's this big. The Arbonne used to come in a round plastic canister. And she's holding this, and I'm like, what is that lady doing? And she was like, oh, you've got to try it, it's the shake. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know. And so I took about a year before I even tried the shake or the fizz stick. It just wasn't my focus. I ended up thinking, well, if this is going to be my business, I need to know absolutely everything about the products. And I went ahead about 3 years ago, and I did the 30-day program all by myself. And I documented it on a blog, because I also had to teach myself how to blog, which it wasn't very good. If anybody wants to read it, it's kind of funny to read now. But yeah, I did great. I felt good. There was not the camaraderie of what we have now. So I'm going to tell you in under 10 minutes. I could talk for an hour about it, but there's different names for it too. We sometimes say Arbonne's 30-day clean eating challenge. I sometimes say Arbonne's 30-day clean eating program or nutritional cleanse. It's just how it all focuses on the same thing. So most recently, I started this program 100% in May, and using the products. And then in June and July, and actually, yeah, June, July, and August, I did an 80-20, which just meant that I stuck with the program, except I incorporated some beer and wine into my life again. I missed it, and I can let go of a lot of things, and beer and wine was one that was tough. And then in September, I went 100% again, and October 80%. November, as of 2 days ago, I started 100%. I've lost 21 pounds, and you figure out the math, that's about 3 pounds a month, which is a very healthy weight loss. My goal is to lose another 20 pounds, and I figured the math out, it'll be a full year, and I'll be at my goal weight, which is absolutely what I love about this program. It's not a fad diet. I was tired of being tired. I had some health issues. I have heart issues. I've had 2 open heart surgeries, and the last time I had been to the doctor, I was pre-diabetic, and that scared me. My weight all happened around my waist, which is one of the worst places to carry your weight. So I wanted to hit the refresh. Well, I'll just keep going. I wanted to hit the refresh button on my health. And this 30-day program was a perfect way to do it. What we do in the program, it sounds really daunting,
but we reduce the number of toxins we ingest, we increase the number of toxins we eliminate, we eat clean, consume whole foods, eliminate acidic, allergenic, and addictive foods, we balance our blood sugar, and we support our elimination organs. It did sound daunting, but we have a Facebook page that's basically 24-hour support. And you can get on that page and ask anybody who's going through the program, anywhere in the country. I'm not sure if we have people from other countries on it as well, but you can ask questions. Well, I'm tired of eating green apples. What else do you suggest? And somebody out of somewhere will tell you what might be good to eat. Recipes, we have shopping lists, and of course, we have the line of Arbonne products, which I'm going to go through in a minute. What we do is focus on health, which I absolutely love. This program focuses on getting healthy from the inside out. We don't focus on what the scale says. We also talk about progress, not perfection. If something were to happen and you fall off the tracks, maybe at a party or Halloween, we all support each other to just get right back on. Don't give up. What this has taught me is organizing and taking control of my life. That there are simple steps to changing bad habits, and you can also transform your body. The next area that I learned and love to teach people is that it becomes habit after 30 days. I think there is some type of scientific research. If you do something for 30 days consecutively, it becomes habit. So I didn't feel like at the end of 30 days I just wanted to go right back to my other way of living, so that there was no yo-yo effect. I just honestly woke up choosing what I wanted to eat, not thinking what I can't eat, and that was a huge switch in my brain. And I'm going to run through the nutrition really quickly. It's up here in the middle, some of it, and some of it's right next to it. The protein shakes, I was not really a naysayer, but I just said, well, why can't I just eat breakfast? When I started the shakes, I found that they are delicious. I'm getting the vegan protein. I'm adding other proteins to it as well. I'm adding almond milk, and I can't really live without my protein shake. When I do not have a protein shake and I eat a breakfast, I'm hungry within an hour, and that's been a huge wake-up call for me. Because I think I was eating what I needed. Fiber Boost goes along with the shake. I use 1 scoop of that. It's 12 grams of fiber. It's nearly half of what you need daily, so I get that out of the way. It also keeps me full until 11 or 12 in the morning, and then afternoon I have a snack, and then I start lunch later. We also have the fizz sticks, which I can tell you, honestly, the first time I tried them, I didn't like them. And Dino didn't understand why. How could you not like them? And I said, well, I think they just were sitting too long or something. I was a 4 shots of espresso over ice coffee drinker every morning. And I'd sip on it for a couple hours in the morning. And I went cold turkey off of it. The only way I did so was to replace it with these fizz sticks. And I would drink 2 of them a day when I started, and I'm down to 1 a day, and sometimes I forget to even have 1. So I haven't wanted to go back to coffee. Coffee makes my mouth feel really dirty, like my teeth feel like there's a film on them, so I drink tea now, and I love it, and I add these to my tea. I'm very sophisticated now. I drink tea. The Digestion Plus is part of this program, and it's a soluble prebiotic, probiotic, and it's fabulous. It really is. I add it to a shake, or I'll add it to my fizz stick. Just make sure I mix it up. I didn't mention, but the fiber you can also cook with it. I put it in my son's pancakes. I put a scoop of vanilla protein in his pancakes, and he just loves it. And you can put it in a brownie mix, and I just feel like he's getting extra things in it that he didn't normally get. And he asks for vanilla pancakes all the time, so I really likes it. In the 3rd week of the 30-day program, we do a 7-day cleanse, and a lot of people ask me, do you fast? You can't eat? And I said, no, we eat. We have a cleanse. It's very gentle. but we eat real food. We eat whole food, and it's a great way to teach people to how to eat. If you're starving yourself, that's not, I would say, not a very good program. I love the taste of this stuff. I drink it slowly throughout the day. I add a fizz stick and I keep adding water. It gets a lot of the heavy metals out. That's why we wait to the 3rd week. And results for me has been renewed energy. My skin cleared up even more so. My mood is better, better digestion, and so we don't focus on losing weight, but if you need to lose weight, you will lose weight. And I lost many, many inches, and like I said, 21 pounds so far. It's been awesome teaching this to others and getting to hear the responses from the clients. I get emails from people telling me that their arthritis has gone away, that they didn't realize they had allergies to corn. I've had people get clean bill of health from their doctors. They have not had to go on blood pressure medication. I've just heard, Heidi has gotten down to her lowest weight since before children. It's just a very empowering program. And the last slide I was going to show you is that it's empowering to be able to choose food that actually fuels your body and allows your body to work the way it's intended to work. And the options are just numerous. There's no limit to what you can do with this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Laura. And I'm going to hop up there with her and walk you around. Okay, and Laura, that was awesome. Awesome. I have not heard you present in a while, and so that was really cool to get to hear. How many do we have over there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So John 5. And Laura, if you want to.
Yeah, I'm going to give Sonia my raffle ticket.
Okay, everybody have
I always laugh because I'm always the one who loses it.
Do we have one? Shanna, do you have yours? Okay.
I'll draw and hand it to you.
Okay. Check it out.
Actually, you draw it.
930159. I guess you just take one of those three. One of the three.
Over here. Yeah. Yeah, those are all 5 of those.
Wow.
Okay. Or do you want to pick and I'll just walk around?
Okay.
Y'all figure this out.
This is renew with this. 930151.
Right.
Yay!
Hey, get up.
Who's yours? Okay. 156. Fran! I'm shaking.
Thank you. I know.
2 more. 163. Yay! The last one. 167.
Thank you. That was awesome. I didn't know you were going to feel that. I'm so glad you did. That was so
I'm an overachiever.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm going to close us out here this evening. Just have a few thoughts I wanted to share. The beginning part of this is really inspired by Dr. Lynn Pawana, our Executive National Vice President, when she did the training the day after Angela's car presentation a couple of weeks ago. So some of you were here, some of you were not, and probably no one has it completely memorized. But I loved how she talked about there were 3 types of people, that there were the people who had no idea what they wanted in life, confused, lacking direction, lacking purpose. Then the next group of people know what they would like, they don't know how to get there. They've never been taught to dream, to set goals, to have vision. And the third group of people know what they want and they do it. I think that pre-Arbonne, I fell a little bit in that second category. And I'm not talking about know what you want in terms of I want to change careers, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a this. I'm talking about really knowing what you feel is success in life and for me, what I knew was lacking, as you've heard me share my story before, which I won't right now, we're really short on time, I promise, was that feeling of significance of being able to have my work be meaningful. And my work at that time, the significance of raising those two girls was awesome, but I wasn't doing that anymore. I was at home doing this boring, alone job, and I wanted that significance. And I loved how she said that we are all looking to live, to love, to learn, and to, what else? Leave a legacy. And so, y'all were listening, y'all were taking notes, and that has just stayed in my mind. It's like that will have to be our theme, going forward, to live, to learn, to love, to leave a legacy. And it made me think of all the ways that Arbonne has been that vehicle for me to do all those things in a much greater way than I was ever doing them before. And so if you are here tonight as a guest and thinking, okay, all of this is interesting, I am tracking, I get what Connelly shared, but it is sales, and I am just not a good salesperson. That is exactly what I thought. Not only did I say I would not be good at sales, I didn't want to become good at sales. I didn't want to be taught to talk like a salesperson, act like one, have my friends run. And I think that's what a lot of our greatest fear about that is. And I would not have lasted in Arbonne 9 minutes, much less 9 years, if I had had to sit through professional, hardcore sales training. There's none of that in Arbonne. I wouldn't have wanted to learn it. I wouldn't have wanted to talk like that. And Arbonne never teaches that. It's inspirational sales is really what it is called, because we're just sharing what Laura just did. That was a true story of how that changed her life. She just shares that with others. And really, when someone tells me, which is rare, I love sales, I want to do sales, then I know we're going to have to do some work to untrain that so that they don't sound like that. Because it's really true when you're in a group, and maybe, Connelly's talked about group presentations. They're really small groups around a kitchen table where you're just sharing honestly from your heart, from your experience, the way Laura just did, products that have made a difference for you. And it's not that you're the most interesting person to listen to that makes it work. It's if you're interested in the people that you're with. And I like that because I am genuinely interested in others. It just comes naturally to just be curious and to ask questions because I do care, because I am interested in getting to know others. And that's what it takes in this business. And it's not, I think so often we get this stereotype of who does these things and who succeeds in these things, and we think it has to be that person that loves to be the center of attention and who is as great a speaker as Connelly is, and all of that to be able to, yes you are, and to do that. But what I always go back to, and some of you could just take these next words out of my mouth. I hope the consultants on my team can, because I go back to Dr. Tom Barrett's book over and over of what the 3 foundational principles of success are. So in any order, someone tell me what one of them is. Come on, give it enough time, consistent effort, duplication, and give it enough time. And you know what? Anyone can do that. Anyone can work consistently. They can duplicate. That's just showing others what you're doing, and give it enough time, because so many times people expect too much in this amount of time and don't expect enough if they gave it the long-term time. And so that's what, when we talk about rewarding for that perfect grip, rewarding for the foundation of having, you are rewarded for having the foundation that is that duplication, consistent effort, given enough time. And right after that in the book, he writes about the 4 ingredients for success. And I always say, memorize these so that you're thinking about them all the time. And the first one is determine what it is you want. This ties right back into what Lynn had said. Some people don't know what they want. So number 1 of his ingredients is determine what you want. The second one is decide what you're willing to reschedule or give up in order to get what you want. And I'm going to say a sidebar, it doesn't mean forever. It's the short-term sacrifice, long-term gain. And so it's just determine what you're willing to give up or reschedule out of your life right now in order to have all those choices that you want down the road. Number 3 is associate with people who will help you get what you want. And number 4 is have a plan that works and work the plan. And you don't have to go figure out the plan that works. That's what your sponsor, your district manager, area manager, VPs are here for. And so I love that about this business because anyone can choose to put those principles and those 4 ingredients for success to work. They're not something that some people are gifted with and some are not. They're all choices. And I just want to close with a quick story. A few years back, EMVP Lynn Ganley, some of you may never have heard of her, in New England. She was speaking at GTC, sharing some of her story, and I just thought this was so powerful. It's on that, I copied the CD for a few of you because it's one of my favorites. But she talked about how she had worked as a teacher and stayed home when her children were born. Their children, she said, had an at-home mom but a never at-home dad because he had to work extra jobs to make that happen for her to stay home. And then she saw this as the vehicle that could give her family those choices. And she said her turning point was when our retired president, Rita Davenport, came and spoke in New England and said, all of you here in New England, do you realize what you have? The vine is heavy with fruit. Do you want that fruit for yourselves, or do you want to leave it on the vine for someone else to harvest? And Lynn, this is Lynn speaking, I made a decision right there. I decided I wanted that fruit. I did not want to leave it there for someone else. I wanted to harvest it and save my family from the life we were living. Okay, that's the end of Lynn's quote. Her back to me. Because Virginia is so much like New England. The fruit is heavy on the vine. There are still so many people who don't know about Arbonne, a tiny, tiny percentage who do know about it or have a consultant or actively using the products. So I'm just going to borrow Rita's words and close by asking you the same. Do you want that fruit on the vine for yourselves, not only to change your lives, but to be able to reach out and help others change theirs, or do you want to leave it there for someone else? So I'm sure you all can guess that I've answered that question for myself. I want that fruit on the vine, but it's not just for me. My passion is sharing it with others. What it means to see Jessie do that for her little girl and know that 3 years ago I asked her if you ever thought about doing something like this, and then to see her be able to create these things for her family. So it is just my privilege and passion to lead others to that same vine and help them to lead others to it. So I hope that that gives you a little bit to think about, and for guests that you go home with a greater understanding of what it means to do Arbonne. And come up here, I've got the Vital Sport Nutrition on the table, the nutritional products Lauren talked about are there. And we will meet again on Tuesday, December 1st. Any other announcements? We got it? You can cut us off. Heidi, thanks so much for doing that. And Ginger.